The Arabian Peninsula is a vast desert. It was home to many tribes. These tribes often fought with each other. Life was hard in this land. People lived as nomads, moving with their animals. They depended on trade routes that crossed the desert. Mecca was an important city. It was a center for trade and religion. The Kaaba, a sacred shrine, was there. People in Arabia worshipped many gods. They believed in spirits and idols. Each tribe had its own deities. Religion was a part of daily life. However, there were some who believed in one god. They were called Hanifs. They followed the monotheistic practices. Judaism and Christianity were also known in Arabia. But most people were pagans. The society was tribal. Honor and loyalty were important. Families stuck together. There was no central government. Tribal leaders held power. They settled disputes and led in battles. Poetry was a significant part of culture. Poets were respected figures. They told stories of bravery and love. Trade brought wealth to the region. Caravans traveled long distances. They carried spices, silk, and other goods. Mecca thrived on this trade. It was a melting pot of cultures. People from different places met there. This exchange of ideas influenced the locals. It set the stage for a new belief system. Muhammad was born in Mecca in 570 CE. His family was part of the Quraysh tribe. They were respected but not wealthy. His father died before he was born. His mother also died when he was young. So he was raised by his grandfather and then his uncle. Muhammad grew up to be an honest man. As a young man, Muhammad worked as a merchant. He was known for his integrity. People called him Al-Amin, meaning the trustworthy. He married a wealthy widow named Khadijah. She was much older than him. They had a happy marriage and several children. Khadijah supported Muhammad in all his endeavors. Muhammad often meditated in a cave. It was called Hira, near Mecca. He was troubled by the social injustices around him. The rich were getting richer, the poor were suffering. He sought answers in solitude. It was during one of these retreats that his life changed forever. At the age of 40, Muhammad received his first revelation. The angel Gabriel spoke to him. He was scared and confused. But Khadijah reassured him. She believed in his mission. This event marked the beginning of his role as a prophet. The revelations continued for 23 years. They were messages from Allah. These revelations were later compiled into the Quran. The Quran is the holy book of Islam. It contains guidance for all aspects of life. The teachings emphasized the oneness of God. They called for social justice and equality. Muhammad began to preach this message. He invited people to worship one God. He spoke against idol worship. At first, only a few believed him. His followers were called Muslims. They faced persecution from the Quraysh. The leaders of Mecca saw him as a threat. They feared losing their power and influence. Despite the hardships, the number of Muslims grew. They were attracted to the message of unity and compassion. Muhammad taught them how to pray and live righteously. The community in Mecca was small but dedicated. They supported each other in times of trouble. The teachings of Islam were revolutionary. They challenged the existing social norms. They promoted charity, kindness, and honesty. These principles appealed to many. However, the opposition in Mecca remained strong. The situation became increasingly hostile. Muhammad and his followers decided to leave the city. In 622 CE, Muhammad and his followers migrated to Medina. This event is called the Hijra. It marks the beginning of the Islamic calendar. In Medina, Muhammad established the first Muslim community. He became a political and spiritual leader. The city thrived under his guidance. The community in Medina grew rapidly. Many tribes embraced Islam. They were united under a common faith. Muhammad resolved conflicts and established laws. He taught the importance of justice and compassion. The Muslims defended themselves against attacks from Mecca. Eventually they won and entered Mecca peacefully. After Muhammad's death in 632 CE, Islam continued to spread. The caliphs, or leaders, expanded the territories. The Rashidun and Umayyad caliphates were significant. They carried the message of Islam to new lands. The Abbasid Caliphate later became a center of learning and culture. Islamic empires contributed greatly to science and art. Scholars made advances in medicine, astronomy, and mathematics. They preserved ancient knowledge and added their own discoveries. Art and architecture flourished. Mosques and palaces were built with intricate designs. The Islamic Golden Age was a period of cultural brilliance.